This news program is proudly brought to you by Smart Start Breakfast Biscuits and Now Biscuits.
Prime Minister Marape declared a 14-day state of emergency. High cost expected after chaos. And business operations resume in NCD. A very good evening. This is National Emtv News. I'm Louis Maingu. Thank you for joining us. Prime Minister James Marape has announced the 14-day state of emergency in the nation's capital yesterday under the provision of PNG's Constitution, Section 226. The government also utilizes the Section 204 of the Constitution for PNG Defence Force to provide support and bring normalcy back. In a media conference held at the Manasupe House, which was supported by the other members of the parliament, the Prime Minister James Marape says the cabinet ministers have convened with the National Security Advisory Council, where recommendations of state of emergency has been proposed under the cabinet paper and the decision was made.
There were recommendations for outside forces to come in or for us to seek help elsewhere, but we decided that under the provisions of Section 226 of our Constitution, as well as the constitutional provision that we utilized yesterday to get police to come in, Section 204 of our Constitution, to get defense to come in to assist our police in the call-out.
Before suspension yesterday, the Commissioner of Police, David Manning, held a press conference with the Chief of Defense and other law enforcement representatives. Manning says the call-out and assistance from PNGDF is in motion.
There was a call-out yesterday by NEC to the PNG Defence Force. They are out on the streets around the country where they have a presence to support members of the RPNGC to ensure that there is a safe and secure environment.
Chief of Defence Commodore Philip Polewara has assured the people that PNGDF will work alongside police to bring back normalcy.
Enough is enough, and we will help police to defend its critical government infrastructures, and life must return to normal in the city.
Prime Minister Marape says over 1,000 men from the PNG Defence Force are on standby to work under the state of emergency laws within this 14 days period to control any situation that may occur. Prime Minister Marape, in a press conference today, clarified some of the security measures the government is taking to help restore normalcy in the city. These soft measures will be effective during the 14-day state of emergency, which started yesterday.
Prime Minister James Marape says the national government is working closely with the National Capital District to help restore normalcy. Marape says there will not be any curfews, but some other activities will be restricted.
Curfew, it is a toned-down state of emergency, rather. There is no curfew, but there will be restrictions placed on people movement. Under state of emergency, all powers go to the controller, power to search, power to go into residence. As you know, Governor did indicate there are a lot of people who deliberately went in to steal from Brian Bell, steal from the stores. Embarrassing. Some even public servants were doing this. What an embarrassment this sort of thing is.
He also apologized to the business community who have suffered the most and have lost millions of kina during the riots on Wednesday. Some of the business houses such as Brian Bell, CPL Group and Papindo have a long history with the country and the people, and the attack on them on Wednesday was unacceptable. NCD Governor Poes Parkop said the biggest focus of the National Capital District Commission and the national government now is to ensure that security is guaranteed so that the city can recover and move forward from the unfortunate events of Wednesday.
I'm happy that this limited state of emergency is to, as I see it from the city level, is to ensure that we put in place a security, especially police force that has been good to us in the past. Prime Minister, I want to say this, that the NCD command has not failed us. Minister, yes, you know this too, internal security. I mean, They have not failed us, but on that day, they failed us. And my confidence too is shattered in them.
Edson Kuso, National MTV News.
In the aftermath of recent riots in Port Moresby, Prime Minister James Marape and his cabinet ministers are expressing growing concerns over the possibility of organized efforts fueling the unrest. Prime Minister James Marape emphasized that the government suspects a deeper, coordinated motive behind the chaos. Marape addressed the media yesterday, stating that investigation has been launched to identify those responsible for organizing the riot.
Whilst the police in general had a genuine cause of concern, there were organized people behind the scene who organized rioting, and that started the entire process. We look into where that organization and where that support came from. Full administrative as well as criminal investigation will take place to go through this one.
Marape says that he will remain as Prime Minister and solve this problem. He urges the citizens to remain calm and assure them that efforts are underway to address the root causes of the problem. He says the government is determined to hold accountable any individuals or groups found responsible for planning and executing the riot.
I'm not going to run away from this place. You want to change government? Change it on the floor of Parliament. Not using my people to create lawlessness and recklessness. This is the way it should be. We'll be ordering a full investigation into sponsors of what took place yesterday. At the department head level, we're making those suspensions, and investigation will run its course. And everyone who have committed an offense under our country's laws will pay the price for the offenses that they've created.
Security has been heightened across Port Moresby, with police and military personnel working collaboratively to maintain peace and good order. Prime Minister James Marape has warned the law enforcement officers that they can be replaced if they are not performing their mandated duties. He says investigation will identify the responsible parties and actions will be taken.
I want to indicate to our country, enough is enough. Enough is enough. And we will get to work. If you're a disciplined force member, I am mobilizing grade 12 students to be trained to take your place if you step out of line. There are enough grade 12 graduates in our country who are looking for jobs. There are enough university students in our country who are looking for jobs. There are enough college graduates in our country who are looking for jobs. You have sworn your loyalty to the oath. There are ways to deal with grievances. You don't get out under a tree and protest. That is not the way disciplined forces should operate.
With what transpired in the last couple of days, beginning in the nation's capital to gradually having a ripple effect on various provinces around the country, heads of Transparency International PNG, PNG Chamber of Commerce and Industry, and the Association of Superfunds, in an exclusive interview with this newsroom, emphasized on the impact of the unrest on Papua New Guinea.
Given the scale and degree of damages sustained by major retailers like City Pharmacy, Brian Bell and other major supermarkets in the last 2 days within the nation's capital, Acting CEO of the Port Moresby and PNG Chamber of Commerce and Industry, Robert Icy, emphasizes on the cost impact on the public.
Because these are the consequences that we're going to see in the next coming weeks. And they will be long-lasting because, to rebuild the infrastructure that's been destroyed, you're not talking about small buildings, you're talking about massive infrastructure that has to be, in all of its aspects, replaced in some form. And there will be costs involved in all sectors of the economy because that's just a consequence of what's happened.
Building on this, the president of the Association of Superfunds, Paul Seya, elaborates on the impact the issue will likely have on foreign investment to Papua New Guinea.
Perception about investing into PNG as to organisations wanting to make sure that, is PNG the right place that they want to invest into. But part of that extra risk that likely occurs is this risk premium that they will look to get a better return. For them to get a better return means that they're going to charge more, that their investment costs are going to be higher. They're going to be looking for how do we actually get this higher return for? And there's the potential that other places will not want to come and invest here. The concern is that people will look to PNG as higher risk.
Sharing sentiments on the detrimental effect events of the recent days will have on Papua New Guinea as a country, Chairman of Transparency International PNG, Peter Aitsi, stresses that all will suffer the burden, especially in costs that result from the public chaos.
In those businesses, not only is it the loss of property, but it's also the impact on jobs and employment, remembering that Stop and Shop alone employs over 1,000 Papua New Guineans, maybe even more. When you think about the supply chain that supports Stop and Shop, the SMEs, the local growers, all of those individuals, a significant part of CPL's business is now stopped. The loss of income for those individuals is going to be significant. So as a result of the violence, and I must say this word, stupidity, over the last few days, we are all going to suffer.
Natasha Rovoy, National Emtv News.
The frustration and anger that led to the chaotic outburst that left the nation's capital in flames on Wednesday is but a tip of the iceberg for PNG's underlying issues. Chairman of TI PNG, Peter Aitsi, alludes this as means to navigate into a form of normalcy, recovery, and even improvement for PNG as a whole. There is need for collaboration and dialogue between the government and concerned organizations.
Reflecting on the chaos that disrupted the city on Wednesday, Mr. Aitsi highlights that such matters have to be dealt by appropriate authorities.
These types of events within our country's life should be dealt with by the appropriate authorities and in a way which allows all parties to be able to dialogue and to resolve these issues, not to resort to violence, not to resort to destroying private property, state property, and essentially creating fear and intimidation on the streets of our city.
Building on the sentiment, the acting CEO for the Port Moresby and PNG Chamber of Commerce and Industry says PNG as a country needs to rebuild from this holistically.
Get the community together and discuss these issues in a robust way, in a concrete way, to get practical outcomes that will resolve a lot of the issues that are outstanding, that all of us know about, but all of us are happy to talk about, but not discuss openly in order to find resolution.
Additionally, the president of the Association of Superfund, Paul Seya, says discussion should be made on what brought about the issue that shook the nation and how to develop from it.
Was the driver higher costs, cost of living improving, people not having jobs, and what have we actually seen as a result? More people not having jobs and an exercise of potentially higher costs coming through. So I think one of the things to think around is really this is an opportunity for us to work together to think about what is required to rebuild. What is those things, not just in rebuilding the asset, but rebuilding the fabric of society.
Natasha Rovoy, National Emtv News.
National Emtv News continues after the break. Stay with us. You're watching National Emtv News. As Port Moresby steers to revive normalcy, other centres maintain order, whilst others strive to deviate from a likely chaotic situation.
Lae has been quiet this morning with security personnel, including police, correctional service, and the PNG Defence Force in operation, monitoring the city. However, businesses and government departments operating in the renowned industrial hub have closed their doors today as employees were turned back home. The police have guaranteed that businesses are expected to operate fully next week. In Goroka, the town was on lockdown today as police blocked off movement and all PMV operations, while all shops were closed in order to control the chaos of what transpired yesterday and restore peace into the township. Police were out in numbers mending all areas of the town, including bus stops and markets. Meanwhile, police took control of the situation in West New Britain province, where 2 shops were looted in the Kandrian district. Police went out yesterday into Kimber town and along the communities to make announcement that no one should be seen congregating around suburbs or town areas. Natasha Rovoy, National, MTV News.
Today is a sad day for businesswoman Lisa Yan of JM Venture Limited, who lost their business following the chaos that erupted 2 days ago in the nation's capital.
While speaking to MTV News, Lisa was emotional with what transpired on Wednesday, which caught her by surprise. She highlighted while other shops are resuming business operations today, it is painful waking up to see what she worked hard to build for many years damaged in just few minutes. Opportunists stormed into the JM Venture Limited compound at Manu Auto Port, looting a coffee shop, an auto part shop, and the Manu Cash and Carry, leaving the business owner devastated. It took almost 12 years for Lisa Yan, a Chinese national, to build a business and provide services to Papua New Guinea citizens. However, it took 24 hours for a business to be destroyed on Wednesday afternoon at 3 p.m.
I try help people, but one day everything go.
This chaos now leaves nationals and foreigners jobless.
Local, this area, 60 people. Foreigners is 20.
Gladys Gila, National, MTV News.
A total of 1.2 million kina worth of items were looted at Yoso Auto Parts shop at the Manu Cash and Carry area during the city chaos on Wednesday. The General Manager Mahabuhul Islam Ponu also disclosed that 200,000 kina hard cash was also taken.
To which the city unrest caused a loss of more than 1 million kina. Taking into account the safety of his employees, Mahabubul Islam Ponu helped his employees escape first before exiting the building. He sustained minor limb injuries whilst trying to escape from the mass looters and opportunists, taking only his mobile phone.
Can't believe, it was like a nightmare, bad dream. How people was crazy and how people took everything. Our second floor, we had a big stock, around 5 containers tire. They took it. So I said, bro, you guys want to take, but don't hurt us. Don't hurt us. We are also human beings.
Ponu emphasized that the looting has broken the supply chain of food supplies and also caused a lot of people to lose their jobs.
Take the things or these kind of things, what will happen? Now the supply chain was broke. Next 1 week, I don't know, Port Moresby people cannot buy food. Those are the street people, they maybe have something, but like you people, how buy? You people maybe have money but cannot buy. Things are already 3 times, 4 times, 5 times.
Also sustaining minor injuries is Mohammed Mohsin, the sales and marketing manager of Red 888 Limited, a branch under the JM Venture Limited. He was physically attacked by one of the looters whilst trying to retrieve his valid documents in the building.
Rumblumi checking papers lost we pani monogatami and all gata cloth, pen, trousers, shirt, all gata to kisim go. Inside the cook room, fridge to all kisim go. All gata fridge, some pressure cooker, all gata something all kisim go.
Malinta Yopolo, National MTV News.
Despite the destruction to its shops and warehouses, CPL has opened doors for all unaffected branches in the nation's capital today to serve the people in need for basic amenities. The 500 staff from the shops that were burnt and damaged were mobilized to all unaffected branches to help assist in operations till further notice.
Despite the unfortunate incidents that happened, which saw the CPL shops at the Rainbow area, the North Waigani and Badili area being damaged and burnt down, and several others such as the Harbour City, the 8 Mile and others being severely looted. We see here today crowds gather at the central Waigani area, and also we were advised that the other areas that were unaffected are being opened, advised from the CPL management to serve the residents of the city. Rushing here in this place, you see people gathering to enter and shop for basic amenities such as food, water, toiletries, and many others to take them through the state of emergency period and until further notice. We see dignitaries such as Her Excellency Angela McCrow, the British High Commissioner to PNG, also among the many that were here to shop this morning. The staff that were affected in the areas that were burnt down have also been gathered to come here and assist, and not only here but in the branches that have been advised to be opened in the city to assist the staff to serve their customers and the residents, and have been kept on payroll until further notice.
Most of them have been told right now as we speak they're still on the payroll. Again, it has to be a huge humanitarian call for us. As the CEO mentioned, there's almost 500 staff impacted. Now, we can't say because we've had a fire or we had disruption in our business, you guys stay home. Because these are not people who are getting paid hundreds of thousands of dollars. They thrive on that. This is their daily meals. And that's the question I'm asking these culprits. What should I tell my staff? Where's the next meal going to come from? So right now we're going to try and keep them employed as much as we can, and we'll have to find solutions.
Francisca Anania, National Emtv News.
Following the declaration of state of emergency yesterday, few business houses and banks have opened doors to citizens today in Port Moresby.
Business houses around the Moresby South and Northwest electorate areas have opened for business as PMV buses resumed operations today. At least 10 shops and several Puma and Total Energies fuel stations was seen serving residents, with others anticipated to resume operations in the next couple of days. Bank South Pacific has also opened selected branches today in Port Moresby, operating from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m., assisting its customers only with withdrawals and deposit transactions. BSP has also announced today that all its other branches in PNG will open except for hybrid and sub-branches that will remain closed until further notice. Meanwhile, at the waterfront and SNS Waigani, the car parks were filled to capacity as residents turned up in numbers to do shopping with anticipation of food stock shortage in Port Moresby in the coming week following Wednesday's chaos. Although these businesses have opened doors for operations and are slowly recovering from this chaotic incident, security and safety of these business houses still remains a concern. Gladys Killer, National Emtv News.
Now we take a look at the Nesfund market report. The Kina closed lower at $0.2679 US in the interbank market. At Bank South Pacific, Yokina was buying $0.2604 US, 0.3865 Australian dollars, 0.2306 euro, and 37.24 Japanese yen. Looking at commodity prices at New York close, gold is trading lower, coffee closed lower, cocoa closed higher, copra closed unchanged, palm oil closed lower, crude oil is trading higher, and copper closed lower. On the stock market, the Dow Jones closed lower, the ASX 200 is trading lower, and the All Ordinaries is trading lower. National Emtv News continues after the break. Stay with us. You're watching National Emtv News. The Yoso Auto Parts at Malaro in Mosby South was one of the shops that got looted on Wednesday during the national capital unrest, with its in-service vehicles engulfed in flames.
Behind me, other vehicles placed in service at the Yoso Auto Parts burned due to the looting that occurred on Wednesday around 2:30 p.m. after the national capital chaos erupted. 10 staff now are left jobless. With businesses in provinces around the country and in the nation's capital that had looting occurring yesterday and on Wednesday are now faced with having to clean and salvage what they can from their shops. This newsroom visited the Manu Cash and Carry complex today that housed Yoso Auto Parts. We had the opportunity to have exclusive interviews with the staff on what had transpired on that day.
Ang property belong this la labu media now talk ya. Mibla two camera team or workshop line. But then this la something happen this la day straight there. Ogre is la man come inside. Maybe 200, 300, 400 plus man Mary come in. So come to all security guards, they occupy gun shot now can help him, but then they didn't help him all. So come inside now.
He then went on to speak on what had happened to the staff.
Maybe some people assault him. I'm pretty sure some girls almost touch him all. Boys too must fight him all. They couldn't help them because plenty people. So I mean, on Gupla lo Manmeri or work Manmeri more than some 400-500 Manmeri were without job in here. Like all this workshop stuff, I'm kare all very expensive car. Inom blow one him. Okay, by Mubla na can put him tasol and stop on fire. Like Fortuna na or is a 0.2, 3.2 or is a nuclear for there. Or Manmeri or something or steal him land or steal him. We don't calculate them. So okay, the Manmeri now by knockout work.
Claire Mauta, National Emtv News.
Despite all service providers shutting down due to the city unrest, doctors of Port Moresby General Hospital have turned up for their morning shifts. However, Dr. Kone Sobi, the Director of Medical Services at POMGen, said the hospital is now looking into providing emergency escort transportation for their employees.
Dr. Sobi revealed that the hospital is now providing the support based on the needs of its employees and, most importantly, providing emergency escort transportation.
And also transport, emergency transport escorted. This is security escorted transport that will move our staff across the city, both for morning shift, afternoon shift, and night shift. And this will go on for indefinitely. We're looking at maybe a week to provide this transport service and support to our staff until we see that the situation has returned to normal.
Dr. Sobi emphasized that people must refrain from activities witnessed in the city unrest as it does not reflect who we are as Papua New Guineans.
Respect the business houses, respect the shops because we all depend on these shops and service stations, public transport systems, and refrain from activities like stone throwing. It's going to affect, the last thing you want is, closing down hospital. It's going to adversely affect everyone. So I think with those remarks, I'd like to, also acknowledge and thank the wider community that have refrained from engaging in this sort of behavior we have seen yesterday.
He said POMGen has a high turnout of casualties from the day unrest began, and for the first time, POMGen at 3 theatres opened simultaneously for 10 major surgeries. Malinta Yopolo, National Emtv News.
With many shopping areas in the city being destroyed, people are looking for places to shop. CPL has reopened its shops that were not affected by the unrest on Wednesday and is urging the government and responsible authorities to assure that safety and protection are provided.
with a high chance of being broken into, looted or burnt to the ground like the others, CPL is urging the government and responsible bodies to make sure its shops opening to serve the public today are protected. Chairman Sir Mahesh Patel states that the safety of CPL staff is paramount and security must be provided.
I've been shouting on the phone since last night for Defence Force and police personnel. So I'm not sure what the red tape or something is, but we just said, if we can get escorts, if we can get security, there's rumblings going on. Somebody mentioned as soon as we open one of our stores, they will come back in again. Now, there's a high risk for our staff.
CEO Raju stressed that similar incidents have occurred in the past, but the current situation is worse, therefore demanding that the government, police and responsible authorities must do their jobs.
We want assurance from the government, we want assurance from the police, we want assurance from the discipline forces that they are going to provide us security, because there is no public transport for our staff to come to work. There is no our drivers are frightened, and we are frightened to actually transport any of our stock from our DC to our shops, because we don't know what will happen on the road.
Amidst all this, its shops have been opened and are slowly getting back into normal operations. Francisca Anania, National Emtv News.
CPL CEO Navin Raju thanks the people who volunteered to help protect the Stop and Shop branches at Waigani and Boroko and Central Waigani, emphasizing that they contributed in making sure the shops were able to keep serving the people.
Stop and Shop in Boroko was safe because of all the buai sellers who stood day and night there with and protected us. So, as the looting came towards the shop, they were there to stand there and make sure that they didn't get to our shop. And then we had a whole lot of friends of us who came, who volunteered to be at Central Waigani to protect Central Waigani. And they were there all night with the security team. They're just volunteers who are trying to ensure that our shops are protected. So I'd like to thank, sincerely thank all these people, because they are assisting us.
The National Capital District Governor Powes Pakop, under his active city development program, rallied together volunteers to clean up the city to help bring normalcy. Chief of Defense Philip Polewara was advised by NCDC to deploy security personnel at these sites to assist and provide security.
The Active City Development Program yesterday advised via Facebook for their teams and the wider community to turn up and join in the volunteer cleanup today around the nation's capital. Waste Management of NCDC has been requested to provide support as well. The areas that they have covered today are the looted shops at Gerehu, Rainbow, Waigani, Tokarara, Konodobu, Kokibadili, Malauro, Vadavada, Boroko, Hohola, Gordens and 9 Mile. They began their cleanup in the southeast suburbs and slowly move into northeast and west suburbs of the nation's capital. This exercise basically is to help keep the city clean and bring normalcy and restore peace and order. A similar cleanup will take place tomorrow morning at Rainbow as early as 6 a.m. Claire Mauta, National Emtv News.
National Emtv News continues after the break with Trukai Sports. Stay with us.
Trukai Sports.
Welcome to Trukai Sports. The round 2 and 3 of the private company's netball competition for this weekend has been deferred to next weekend. PNC and executive have decided to hold off the games this Sunday, taking into consideration the safety of players, team and companies due to the situation currently affecting the city. That ends Trukai Sports. The Money Plus weather report is next. Stay with us.
True Kai Sports. True Kai Sports.
This weather update is proudly brought to you by MoneyPlus, with you always.
The weather forecast for the next 24 hours. In southern region, Port Moresby City, cloudy periods with few showers and possible thunderstorms. Daru, cloudy periods with few possible showers and thunderstorms. Kerema, cloudy periods with few showers and possible thunderstorms. Alotau, cloudy periods with brief showers. And Popondetta, few showers and possible thunderstorms. In Momase region, Lay City, cloudy periods with few showers and possible thunderstorms. Medeng, few showers. Wewak, cloudy periods with few showers. Vanimo, some showers and possible thunderstorms. In the New Guinea Islands region, Lorengau, cloudy periods with few possible showers. Kavieng, cloudy periods with few showers and possible thunderstorms. Kokopo and Rabaul, partly cloudy with chances of brief showers. Kimbe, mostly cloudy with some showers and possible thunderstorms. And Buka, cloudy periods with brief showers. In the islands region, Mount Again City, mostly cloudy with some showers and possible thunderstorms, then morning fog. Goroka and Kundiawa, cloudy period with some rain showers and drizzles and possible thunderstorms, then morning fog. Mendi and Wabeg, cloudy period with some rain showers, drizzles and possible thunderstorms, then morning fog. Waters of southern PNG and Indonesian border to Daru to Kiwai Islands to Kerema to Yule Island to Hood Point to Samarai Islands, seas 0.5 to 1 meter. Waters of Samarai Island to Cape Vogel to eastern and western Milne Bay Islands, seas 0.5 to 1 meter. Waters north of Cape Vogel to Owen Gulf to Finserfen, seas 0.5 to 1.5 meters. Waters of Finserfen through Vitias and Dampier Strait to CRC and Long Islands, seas 0.5 to 1.5 meters. Waters of Long Island to Medeng to Wewak to Vanimo and northern PNG and Indonesian border, seas 0.5 to 1 meter. Waters of Manus and its western group of islands, seas 0.5 to 1 meter. Waters of East and West New Britain to New Ireland, seas 0.5 to 1 meter. And waters of Bougainville, seas 0.5 to 1 meter. Coral Sea, sea smooth, west to northwest winds of 5 to 10 knots. Solomon Sea, sea smooth, northwest tending into clockwise winds of 5 to 10 knots. Bismarck Sea, sea smooth, northwest to northeast winds of 5 to 10 knots. And Pacific Ocean, sea smooth, easterly to southeast winds of 5 to 10 knots.
The weather update was proudly brought to you by MoneyPlus, with you always.
And that wraps up the news, sports and weather for Friday, the 12th of January 2024. From all of us here, pleasant viewing. Good night.
This news program was proudly brought to you by Smart Start Breakfast Biscuits and Gold Nuggets.